Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast, the show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Morning, good morning, good morning. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live in Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Ellison, and my co-host,
Aisha,
will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversation from the heart of our city. Let's get it going. Yeah, so today we don't have a guest. We're going to go straight into Habari News Weekly today. So let's go ahead and run that, man.
And now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipleen Ellison.
here. That's why I said something.
Good evening and welcome to Habari
Good
News
morning.
Weekly. Good, my bad. Good morning.
There you go.
And I'm your host, Damon Ellison, alongside my co-host, Aisha. Today, we're going to dive into some pressing issues shaping our world, from immigration policies to ethical concerns in our government and corporate dynamics.
That's right, Damon. Our lineup today includes the treatment of deported immigrants, controversial statements by government officials, and the escalating tensions surrounding Tesla and its CEO, Elon Musk.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead and dive deep into this week's topics.
So, number one, we all saw the disgusting videos of Trump sending people to El Salvador's mega prison. It's been crazy just to see it, and Donald Trump proudly retweeted the video of the people being treated like absolute crap. And we want to show you the video. You probably already saw it. But our first story takes us to El Salvador, where a recent video reveals the harsh conditions faced by immigrants deported from the United States. These individuals, primarily Venezuelans, were transferred to the Terrorism Confinement Center, known as CEOCOT, a facility infamous for its severe conditions. CCOT, I guess they call it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering too. Like,
I don't know if they call it by that, but that's the
way it looks like it's sounding. CCOT.
right. I mean, that's the acronym.
But it's located in Toluca.
Toluca.
I don't even know how to say the name of the city.
Man.
It's okay.
All right.
All right. But it's located 45 miles east of San Salvador, and it's designed to hold up to 40,000 inmates. And the prison has been criticized for overcrowding and human rights concerns.
So we all know how horrible it's been and how bad the video is. So let's go ahead and take a second and watch the footage capturing the arrival of these deportees at the mega prison. Go ahead.
Nombre. César Eliseo Soto Maga.
Quique.
Now that is it's pretty ridiculous, man. The way they were treated. Go ahead, bring us back.
And it's sad as we're watching this video, you can see the comments coming in. People are calling them, every single one of them, are murderers. It's animal
Yeah,
control.
go ahead and show that. Maggie
Um,
from Maggie B.
It's ridiculous that these people think that just because someone is an immigrant, that automatically makes them a murderer or a rapist or a criminal because they're an immigrant.
I mean, well, judges have been upset about these. They while they were sending these people to El Salvador, a judge released a statement asking the Trump administration to bring those people back because they hadn't been through due process. He hadn't proved that these people are killers or murderers. And just because you say so does not make it real. And Trump did not go through the due process, like I said, to make sure that these people were vetted, that these people were gang members, like they were saying. They never showed the proof to say who these people were.
Right.
Now it is coming out that some of these people did not have any criminal records, that some of these people did nothing but stay over, come into the country and stay over on illegally. And that shit is not a criminal crime. That is not a crime. It's a misdemeanor. I think it's a civic.
That's why they give it a misdemeanor.
Right, because it's not a crime,
It's
a
the low-
federal
right.
crime. It's not a crime that should be treated in the way that these people are being treated. You give them due process, you send them home, that's fine. But you at least give the people the process to be able to go for asylum or whatever they need to go through to make sure that they are getting vetted properly. And I mean, to do nothing and treat these people like this and send them on the plane is really, really ridiculous. We also saw a video the other day of Elon Musk talking about when he came here and he started his first business. He was in the country illegally.
Yep.
He overstayed his visa, started a company.
Yep.
Nobody has a problem with that because the color of his skin.
Yep.
But when the people are brown or darker than that, people don't want to hear that. They don't want to see those people. They want those people out of the country ASAP. So we have issues, in America. Yeah, people are gonna come here, man. That's the way it is. Everybody is not gonna be have a green card because you can't automatically get a green card as soon as you come to America. You can apply for one, but it takes months to get that. You have to go through all type different processes before you get your green card or your visa. You can come here on a student visa, but that's not even keeping people here. Some people are still being sent back home. So it's just with the guy from who, just because he marched or was in a protest, they're saying his student visa doesn't mean anything. So how are you going to give people a chance to become American citizens if you're sending them home before they're even going through their court cases?
Right.
I mean, that's just inhumane. Let me see. When they came across the border illegally, they have committed a crime act. There are criminals from the. See, the thing that you don't understand, Mr. Gibbs, is that some people fly here or they just drive across the border. Then they get a job and they start paying rent and living their life. It's not that all of them came across the border illegally. They come here the right way. It's they overstay. Then they don't become citizens because sometimes like I said, it takes a long time to become citizens. It's not something that happens overnight. You got a lot of court you have to go through. And even if you're filing for amnesty, there's a lot of court dates that you have to meet. And the court dates are slow because we do not have a lot of judges in these places. And the bureaucracy is very slow. So you cannot just get mad at everyone and blame these people when they just came here, like Elon Musk, who came here and he built a business and did things. It doesn't matter if you're rich. I know that's what they want to focus on, but it shouldn't be just about the rich. We want your huddled masses, your poor people that's struggling. It can't just be about the rich. Donald Trump putting in gold cards for rich people to come because that's all he wants. But America has been about everyone, man. And I just don't really understand. You know, we treating these people and they are alleged gang members deported from U.S. and arrived in El Salvador. Go ahead.
It's just sad that we're watching all of this, and these images are stark. Many of these individuals reportedly signed documents agreeing to return to Venezuela, but found themselves in El Salvador instead.
This situation raises serious questions about due process and the treatment of immigrants. It's a problem,
It is.
and they are, we have Donald Trump. They're happy to treat people like this, to release the videos. They're all celebrating. These people are monsters, man. They don't care about anyone, and they always talking about where the money goes, but they don't want the money to go to anyone except the rich people. They don't mind Elon Musk having $1 trillion. They just don't want poor people to have anything. As long as the poor people are suffering and being treated like dogs, there's people in this country that's going to celebrate, even though they are taking losses. This is the type of people that we call neighbors, man, and it's really insane. Let's play a couple. Go through a couple comments. Elon came here legally, and it wasn't a visa that he came here with. He went to the U.S. Embassy in South Africa and applied legally. I heard Elon in video saying that he overstayed his visa and he was in America illegally. Do you understand that? That's why most people are become. That's how most people get here. That's how most people become Americans. They come here for maybe a student visa, maybe
exactly
a visa, working visa, and he overstays that visa, then he's illegal. Just because he's white, Mr. Gibbs, does not make him right.
He
admitted
on a J1 visa,
it.
which was a student visa.
Go ahead and switch
before he transitioned over to the H1B visa, which is the work visa.
Right.
Once both of those visas expired, he was supposed to go back to South Africa.
But he did not.
He
started his businesses, his companies.
And then started his way to become a naturalized citizen.
Now, so if we're going off of the way the right is speaking today, then he should have went home like they just treated those El Salvadorans. Yep. He should have been thrown on a plane and pitched back to the South Africa. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right as long as he's all white. Yep. Now we got to stop this bull, man. It's hypocrisy. Yes, Elon should have been deported. You are correct. He should have been deported. But like I said, when the person is not of brown or black skin tone, it's okay.
But it's okay for Elon to have South African citizenship. It's okay for him to have Canadian citizenship. He got his American citizenship in 2002 when he was 31 years old.
Had been here years. We have no problem with that. But anybody else take the route that he took
and overstay,
we're pissed off. We're calling them criminals. Well, Mr. James Bennett Barnett, we are Democrats. We lean liberal.
I lean agree, liberal. Paula. That's Elon what we do. Should be deported.
Yeah, we just yeah, we are Democrats, brother. Google stop bitching and completed. Go get a job. Google stop bitching, and man, you should learn how to correctly pronounce and write a sentence, because that is all messed up, brother. So you want to talk bad about somebody, then I have several jobs. So to get on here and to say we don't have a job is just more racism from the right. This is what you guys do every week, and then be the first people talking about, oh, we're not racist. We're not racist, but every week, this is what we have to see. More racism on my stream. More racist comments. from the people who aren't racist, they say.
But hold on, wait a minute. In the same breath as he's telling you to go get a job, the minute when you say you got a job, he gonna call you a DEI hire.
Right.
That's how that works.
Exactly. We can't have a job.
Can't have a job because we a DEI hire according to y'all.
Right. And then we're lazy at the same time. Then we're DEI hire. I wish I make it.
We're not smart. We're lazy.
Man, fuck out of here.
They got everything that's racist to say towards us, but then want to go tell us to go do the very thing that we are doing.
Mm-hmm. Donald Trump has 43 convictions in his presidency. Something isn't right. Hey, man, I agree, Miss Paula. The fact that they sitting around calling people who crossed into America and overstayed visas, they're calling them criminals.
Right.
You can switch the camera, bro. They're calling them criminals, but elected a felon, a convicted felon for the presidency. But you are upset that someone crossed an imaginary line?
Right.
And because you don't want them in your country. This is why we know it's about racism. You don't care about the crime. You just don't want these people here. Because if you cared about crime, you would not have Mr. Trump as your president, because he is a criminal. And to have a criminal as your leader while you're saying other people are criminals, like he does all the time. He's a criminal. But he's always talking about other criminals. Like, oh, it's all good as long as you're a white criminal. It's all good.
Forrest Gibbs, go watch the video of Elon Musk saying himself he overstayed his visa.
Yeah, Mr. Gibbs. You
can
look
go
it up.
find that.
You can find that. It's easily found. They were him and his former business partner were talking about how they started their business.
Right.
And the business partner was doing all of the talking. Elon in the background said, "Oh, you don't want to call it that. You don't want to call it that." But he said it. We know the truth. A lot of people overstay their visas. It's not something this isn't new. People do it all the time. It didn't used to be something that we would throw people in jail in Guantanamo for. But because these people are brown and they're all criminals because they're brown, that's the route we're going today. Mm-hmm. So we have to treat people better, man. That's what America is about. That's what it's about, man. We're supposed to help everyone. We're supposed to love people, regardless of their skin tone or where they're from. We're supposed to give them a chance in America. They're supposed to have a shot. Just because they're not from here, or they overstayed their student visa, or they overstayed their work visa, whatever the decision is, or whatever the situation, we should help people. We should love people. Yeah, there's going to be bad people. Americans, we have bad people here too. We have people that are born here that are criminals. So we're going to treat everybody else and act like Americans aren't bad? We do bad things too.
No, Floyd Shirley, we do not promote hate. That would be the Republicans and Trump's crew. That they're the ones that's promoting the hate.
I don't understand, man. How is it promoting hate by saying to not treat these people like criminals and throw them on a plane? If they are criminals, you committed a crime while you're supposed to be coming to become an American citizen. You should leave. I agree to get criminals out. If they are here and they're not being a productive citizen, get them out of here. I 100% agree, man. We shouldn't have all these people running to the border, and the border just got thousands of people. That should be under control. But it shouldn't be fear that's keeping it under control. It should be love, making sure that the people where they are coming from, figuring out why these places cannot keep their people there. Doing more to help El Salvador, doing more to help Mexico. We're the richest country in the world. I just don't get it, man. We just love to hate each other, and that's not the way it should be.
TikTok viewer said this is an intellectually shallow discussion.
How is it intellectually shallow? Please make it deeper for us, please. Make it deeper for us. Tell me something that you guys are doing that's going to make it better, instead of just saying get all people out that are brown. That's what we're hearing here. Thank you, Paula. We appreciate you. So what we got? Mr. Forrest Gibbs, how do you justify the millions of people who come across the southern border and the government putting them in five-star hotels, giving them cars, phones, health care on the tax? Those are all lies, Mr. Forrest Gibbs. Now, there were some situations where migrants were bused from Texas and Florida, and they were bused to Chicago and New York in the middle of the city and dropped off. So they had to do something. They couldn't just leave these people in the middle of the city. What do you want? What do we do? What should we do, man? The people are being dropped off in the middle of the city. Tell me what the city should have done. You got 300 people standing in the middle of the street, lost. What should they do? So you have to think, man. You guys have to think. I know you hate people, but one day, man, you're gonna need somebody. And how is it gonna look that we treated the people that we need like trash? It doesn't make any sense, man. We have to do better as people. Now let's go into this next story here. The Trump administration, they're defying the federal judge order on these deportations. In a recent development, the Trump administration has openly defied a federal judge order to halt the deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members. This unprecedented move has sparked a heated debate about the balance of power between the executive branch and the judiciary. We'll delve into these details of this defiance, the reactions from key figures, and the potential implications for the rule of law. Now, I want to go into this video here. Number one, the judge's orders, the federal judges, James Boasberg, he issued a court order to halt the deportations of approximately 250 Venezuelan individuals accused of gang affiliations. Number two, administration's response. Despite the order, the administration proceeded with the deportation, citing the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 as a legal justification. Now, it has came out that Trump said he didn't sign it. I guess someone else signed it for him. I don't know what he's really trying to say, but it was signed, and they put it as your name, so you signed it. Statements from officials, Mr. Tom Homan, the White House border czar, publicly stated, "I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We are coming." The reaction from the judicial judge Bozeman expressed concern over the administration's actions and vowed to investigate potential violations of the court order. So the implications of this defiance raises critical questions about the separation of powers and the enforcement of capabilities of the judiciary. Legal experts warn of looming constitutional crisis if court orders are disregarded without consequence. So let's go ahead and play this video of Tom Homan saying that he doesn't have to listen to the judges.
We made a promise to the American
Run
people. The President Trump has made a promise to American people. We're going to make this country safe again. I wake up every morning loving my job because I work for the greatest president in the history of my life, and we're going to make this country safe again. I'm proud to be a part of this administration. We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We're coming.
Yeah. I just love seeing you going through these protesters just crunching on the apple as their liberal tears just flood the hallway. Tom Homan, thanks so much for joining the program.
You got
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, bring us back, brother. Yeah, I love that Fox reporter had to throw in the liberal tears. This is what conservatives live for today. They will eat their own as long as they feel as though the liberals are crying. They will lose their own as long as they feel as though the liberals are crying. You will let grandpa lose his Social Security as long as you feel as though the liberals are crying. You will be happily clapping as you lose your job. You lose SNAP benefits. You lose all of your Medicare and Medicaid benefits.
And your
You're
Social
clapping
Security benefits.
Because as long as you're
hurting the other people,
hurting the libs are crying. This is the type garbage that America is on right now. We have to come back to a place of love. Even when George Bush was in office, it wasn't this bad. You know, the right loves to say that Obama, he divided us. He divided us, but I can never hear of a divisive statement that man said. But every day we have more divisiveness coming out of the White House. So let's go to a couple crazy comments and see what we're saying here today, man. James Barnett. If they are bad, they need to go. There was a 12-year-old girl killed less than 3 miles from me by illegally dude that crossed the border. Mr. Barnett, yes. No, I agree. We do not want criminals here. We don't want migrant criminals, immigrant criminals. We don't want domestic criminals. Nobody wants crime, man. But we don't have to treat all immigrants like trash because one guy killed a 12-year-old girl, man. We can't use racism and blatantly blame the whole entire group. Black people don't want that. White people don't want that. Nobody wants to be pigeonholed as criminals. There are bad people that come here. There are good people that come here. There are people who come here and go to work every single day. There are people who come here and that's what they want to do. They want to commit crimes. We have to make sure to weed those people out, man. Let's read Michelle Lynn's comment there. Yeah, well, the Democrats didn't go after George Bush the way they attacked Donald Trump. Aren't you wondering why? Well, the reason why George Bush didn't get attacked like Donald Trump is George Bush has a little bit more decorum, respect. He was very well spoken when you compare him to Trump. He had a bigger heart than Trump. He cared about his constituents. He's cared about the people that he was over. Bush, I wish for Bush right now. At the time, I didn't like Bush. I didn't like him not as much as I hate or I'm disgusted with Trump. But I definitely did not like Bush at the time. But right now, I would take George Bush 10,000 times over what we have now. Trump is a disgusting individual, and George Bush was never that. He may not have been the greatest or the brightest in situations, but the dude he always had compassion. He was never not that, and that's something that we have to respect. What's this guy Forrest Gibbs say? You really don't know what you're talking about if you don't know the Constitution. What are you talking about? What, you don't know what you're talking about? We didn't even talking about the Constitution. What are you talking about? That's, man, you dude. Trump doesn't know the Constitution. How many times have he put laws in place and the lawyers and the judges has to tell him, hey, you can't do that. He doesn't know the Constitution or even cares. And you on here telling me about the Constitution? You should be at your town halls talking to your senators or whoever is representing your area and telling them how they aren't following the Constitution instead of on here fucking with me. Anyway, man, conclusion. The Trump administration's decision to proceed with these deportations, despite a federal court order, challenges the foundational principles of checks and balances in the U.S. government. As this situation unfolds, it underscores the tension between different branches of government and the importance of upholding the rule of law. Now, these are the people that is not listening to the Constitution. The judiciary has the right, and they've been saying for weeks, these judges can't tell us what to do. They're 100% wrong. Yes, they can. Just because Congress has folded and let Elon take over doesn't mean that these judges are going to let them take over the judiciary branch. Period. So, in a bold move, the Trump administration has defied the federal court order to halt deportation, igniting the debate over the limits of executive power and sanctity of judicial rulings. We're going to explore the unprecedented confrontation of implications for our democracy. Let's see here. Was it another video talking about that over there? No, I don't think so. Okay. All right. That's it on that, man. But let me see. Go to Michelle Lens. Obama look. Girl, if you don't get the hell, that boy said Donald Trump said Obama wasn't from America.
He started the birther movement.
He started the birther movement. I am sorry, Donald Trump and Obama do not get along. One of the reasons Trump wanted revenge on everybody was that video that Obama did that showed the Lion King, and he roasted Donald Trump, roasted the mess out that man. And you trying to tell me they were friends just because they were talking at a funeral? They're not friends. They hate each other.
Oh man.
He said that dude was a Muslim and he wasn't from America. What are you talking about? He hates Trump. Get out of here, man. You should read something more. Right. Let's go to the next comment. He's talking about anything you want, change anything.
Ain't nobody losing their Social Security. Okay.
And they all love Donald Trump. They all took his money. They all had their little campaigns and events and all his properties. I mean, he gave a lot to the Democrat Party. He did. That doesn't mean they all love him. Because he had a lot of racist connotations. He had many, many times when he was showing his racist background. I didn't even know he was a Democrat. I had no idea until I did a little digging and saw, this dude was with Clinton. He was a Democrat. But he became a Republican when he seen a black man go to the top of and become president. He could not stand that so much that he left his party to become the leader of the Republicans. He hated that black man was at the top so much that he started the birther movement. Mm-hmm. Now, you can really, really sit around and act like this guy is just some great guy, but everything he has done, every move he has made is behind some evil plot.
Right.
He's like a bad guy on a Superman cartoon. Really? Well, did George Bush ever give loan back to the 80s and 90s to black entrepreneurs? And then when they came back to pay, Trump said, yeah, keep your money, go run. Man, Trump ain't did nothing, man. Trump has implemented he has taken away civil rights from black people. He has removed and taken away any successful black people that are in the government. He has removed them. Removing DEI has hurt the black community by saying that black people are not good enough to have these jobs. Right. It's going to be merit only. Why he puts his sons and daughters and all of these people with zero experience into leadership positions in his cabinet. He's telling black people they're not good enough. He's firing people. He's removing Jackie Robinson. He's removing the
native code
native code talkers. This is hate. I've never seen George Bush do that. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Michelle Lynn, you got to show me something that Obama did to hurt any other race. Please, just tell me. What did Obama do that hurt you? Where did he hurt you? Was it his face that hurt you?
His skin tone that hurt you?
You didn't like that? You didn't like it?
Or did you not like the fact that he said, if he had a son, his son would look like Trayvon Martin?
Oh, they hated that. They hated that. They just admitted that he was
I'm
black,
trying to figure out what did Obama say that said all other races were criminals, rapists, murderers,
right,
from whole countries.
Right. I mean, we can go over the disrespectful things Trump have said about black people.
Get the SOBs out of the football because they want to take a knee and protest.
Right. And all of the just his policies now. He's removing civil rights from contractors.
Right.
Contractors now can segregate. They can have whites only buildings and restaurants and still get contracts from the government.
And still get federal contracts.
These things were stopped in the 1960s by Lyndon B. Johnson. He's implementing them back like there's no racism anymore. Like there's not 100,000 racist terrorist groups in America.
Right.
Arizona, one of the leading states with the most terrorist groups, hate groups. They want to act like this stuff doesn't exist, man. It's still here. In fact, on January 6th, he pardoned a lot of them.
He did.
You know, he let a lot of them out of jail. And they come out to the streets and immediately start shooting at them, getting shot by police officers because they don't want to listen to the law.
Exactly.
These are the type of people that you guys are saying are better than others. It's getting ridiculous. But all right, man. Commerce Secretary Tesla stock endorsement.
Yeah. In another development, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick recently appeared on Fox News, urging viewers to buy Tesla stock and calling it unbelievably cheap.
Yeah, go ahead and run that clip, man.
To build the next generation technology. I think if you want to learn something on this show tonight, buy Tesla. It's unbelievable that this guy's stock is this cheap. It'll never be this cheap again. When people understand the things he's building, the robots he's building, the technology he's building, people are going to be dreaming of today and Jesse Waters and thinking, gosh, I should have bought Elon Musk's stock. I mean, who wouldn't invest in Elon Musk? You got to be kidding.
All right, so you're...
Go ahead, bring us back.
See, here's the thing. Elon Musk stock is as cheap as it is because people are getting rid of that shit.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be associated with Elon Musk.
That's real.
Or his Cybertruck or his Tesla. That's why the stocks are plummeting.
Yeah. I mean, for a government official to have such an endorsement by the officials are unprecedented. And it raised ethical concerns, man. Legal experts suggest this may violate federal ethical rules, prohibiting the use of public office for private gain. Do you not see what they're doing?
And then, to make matters worse, despite the promotions that Elon is getting from politicians like this guy and Trump, Tesla stocks continue to decline, reflecting on market's skepticism.
Yeah, people are just not with it. They do not feel comfortable with Elon Musk right now.
Even his board of advisors at Tesla said, "Hey, bro, you need to leave the White House and come back to work. You need to come back to work. Your conflicts of interest is they hurting us, bro.
Yep.
You need to come back. Leave that. Come back over here and focus on your company."
Yep. So, I mean, that's something we're going to talk about now. We'll get about that in a second. But Elon Musk, Tesla's, CEO and head of the Department of Government Efficiency, has faced a lot of criticism for his recent actions. We have town halls going crazy. We have many senators and congressmen facing cities and areas, municipalities that do not want to hear this.
Right.
His recent actions, including significant layoffs and restructuring of federal agencies, has just pissed people off.
Yep. And, Musk just claims that he's doing the right thing, even though that this is attributing to the backlash to his efforts that he's trying to do to implement the necessary changes that he's trying to do.
So let's hear from Elon Musk himself. Elon Musk stating he's doing the right thing. Go ahead and play that clip.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or the Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships, they're firing bullets into dealerships, they're just smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged...
The presidency was not productive.
There's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
Here they go. Blame George Soros. Get the hell out of here. Go ahead.
It's crazy that, Musk is claiming that he's doing the right thing. But his increasing hostility and his threats is just, it's crazy.
I mean, yeah, man, it's he expressed concerns about the level of hatred and potential violence directed toward him and his initiatives.
And, it's important to note here that while these tensions are escalating, no physical harm has occurred, yet some are labeling these actions as terrorism.
This
Vandalism is now a terroristic act.
Right. Vandalism is not terror. And they're talking about giving people 20 years for these crimes, for property damage. Vandalism. They're talking about their domestic terrorists. This is just insane because we're trying to protect the richest dude in the world. Like this is just contrasts sharply with the events of January 6th, where violence led to fatalities. But some still downplay the severity of January 6th.
Yep, and then you got President Trump labeling the recent attacks on Tesla as terrorism,
domestic terrorism. He also condemned the destruction of property during the protest.
And these statements are highlighting the polarized perspectives on what constitutes terrorism and appropriate responses to civil unrest.
It's insane, man.
Americans are unhappy.
And you got to think, man. You're firing all these people. And do you think that's why most people who run companies, like Michael Jordan said, Republicans buy tennis shoes too?
Mm-hmm.
They usually try to stay out of the politics because they know how visceral and how angry people can get about things like losing their Medicaid, losing their Social Security.
Yep. And in retrospect to the Social Security, there's a lady in West Virginia. She's 73 years old, and she's housebound. She's homebound. She cannot leave her house. When she does or is able to leave her house, it takes over an hour just to drive to the nearest grocery store. And now she has to go in person to verify her identity to receive her Social Security benefits.
Yeah. They're making it more difficult for people to get their Social Security benefits.
She does not have access to internet. She does not know how to use the internet.
And they've taken away the phone option.
And she does not drive, cannot drive.
Yeah, man, it's sad, man.
But they're going to tell us that they're not taking away the Social Security benefits. Somebody this week said that only the fraudsters are going to be the ones missing their Social Security benefits when they don't get their check in the mail.
No. That's how they get y'all, man. They tell y'all that it's some fraud. Even though we know that all these millionaires and billionaires, they're fraudulent, white collar frauds, criminals. They're all doing all type things to put the money in their pocket and cheat others.
Right.
But let's go after the small people who are getting an extra couple dollars a month. The poor people. Let's go after them. But they've taken away everything that you can do to try to keep the rich people in check. He is going around gutting all of those programs to make sure that they can't come after him, because that's what they were doing.
Yep.
And the companies that were coming after him, he's tearing them apart so they can't come after rich people.
Right.
But let's hold the poor.
Musk is the biggest user of government subsidies.
Right, exactly. But let's use the poor people as an example of how we're going to do people. But this dude who has almost $1 trillion, it's
using governmental subsidies.
Right, exactly.
Getting
that's okay.
Government aid.
That's okay.
Using government contracts.
That's okay. But the lady getting $200 a month, oh my goodness.
She's a fraud.
She's a fraud. Like we are creating this environment that we are hating the poor people that need the most help.
Yep.
While applauding while the rich take more money and put it in their pockets. Like we are getting ridiculous as a country. But let's go into this Tesla investors call for Musk to step down. Amid these controversies, Tesla's investor Ross Gerber has publicly called for Musk to step down as CEO, citing concerns over his leadership and recent decisions.
Yeah, Walker talkish. You might have been okay, but you probably did that before January 20th, before Trump took office. You signed up for your benefits, right?
Yeah, man. That just happened a couple days ago, bro.
So everybody that this is affecting happened this week, not in January.
Yes. So this is a new proposition that was brought down by Trump and them to close it down. They've been firing. They fired half of the people from Social Security. They are shutting down Social Security locations in areas. This has just started becoming a problem this week. So this is the first week we're discussing it because this is the first week that this has happened.
People in rural areas that don't get transportation or can't get transportation out there.
Yep. So sorry, walk talkish, you are incorrect from TikTok. So Gerber, it was on you.
Yeah, so Musk did reportedly meet with Gerber this week, indicating that he will increase his involvement with Tesla's operations.
This internal pressure reflects growing unease among investors about the company's direction under Musk's leadership. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
I think we all make choices with our time, and Elon doesn't get more than 24 hours a day just because he's Elon. So we make choices. All of us do. Do we spend time with our family? Do we go golfing? Do we work? And how we do this is, each individual chooses. And so Elon chooses to work, all the time, but you can only work so many hours a day. So it's 24, right? And he sleeps. So there's no question he's been committed to his job at the government. That's where he's spending his time. He is not running Tesla. And, that's why I'm going to say it. I think Tesla needs a new CEO. And I decided today I was going to start saying it. And so this is the first show that I'm saying it on. It's time for somebody to run Tesla. The business has been neglected for too long. There's too many important things Tesla is doing. So either Elon should come back to Tesla and be the CEO of Tesla and give up his other jobs, or he should focus on the government and keep doing what he's doing, but find a suitable CEO for Tesla.
So you are saying essentially if he's not prepared to quit that government job, he needs to go?
Yeah, I think it's time.
You heard that?
He needs to go.
The company is getting tired of him. So he's gonna have. He did have make a statement. I think he was somewhere, and he was telling them that he will be coming back and spending more time working on Tesla.
But that's just another conflict of interest. How are you going to come back and work on Tesla and you working in government as a top?
Switch the camera, bro.
Top advisory to Trump.
Yeah. I mean, you're
gonna have to give up one of them,
right? So and DOGE's impact on Social Security is the next story we're going to go into here. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the Department of Government Efficiency, led by none other than Elon Musk, is now targeting Social Security, closing offices and reducing staff. They've threatened further cuts if DOGE can't access certain data.
Yeah, man. These actions could significantly impact millions who rely on Social Security. Most of these people are from red states. Kentucky, Tennessee. These people are a lot of the Trumpers are getting Social Security. Now, I don't understand why they are attacking their own people, their own constituents, but we will see. But Social Security benefits raising concerns about the administration's commitment to social welfare programs. Republicans hate social welfare programs, so that's just the way it is. So let's get into this next segment, man. We had Bernie Sanders and AOC here in Arizona. We wanted to go over some of the things that they were doing. Recently, Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez visited Arizona to address issues of economic inequality and social justice. During his speech, Sanders emphasized that the United States is not a poor country and criticized the notion that people should have to choose between necessities like food and medicine. So let's go into the clip of we got AOC here in Vegas, and let's listen to her and what she had to say. Did we forget to bring it in?
Yeah, I think you sent it.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll skip that clip for later, and we didn't get the Sanders clip either. So
Okay.
what you got?
So recently, Senator Bernie Sanders, he and Representative AOC,
Mhm.
like you said, they did address Arizona, addressing issues of economic equality, social injustice, and Bernie Sanders' call for systematic change systemic change
Oh, switch the camera,
underscores
bro.
the ongoing debate about wealth distribution and social safety nets in America.
We seem to be against anything that helps the people that need it in this country nowadays. We got a lot of people calling other people stupid.
Mm-hmm.
We want to call people names. We're just talking about trying to make sure that Americans are getting the help that they need, man.
Yep.
A lot of people aren't getting what they need, and that's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you guys are so mad about, the Trump people. I do not understand it, but liberals are mostly mad because people are getting left out.
Yep.
Your view is you don't care about people. It has to be better, man. So get on the ball, camera. The U.S. Department of Education plays a pivotal role in ensuring equitable access to quality education across the nation. Now we're going to go into talking about what's going on with Donald Trump destroying the public Department of Education and what this means for the nation and particularly for low income marginalized communities. It was established in 1979. This mission encompassed enforcing federal educational laws, dispersing funds, and safeguarding students' civil rights.
Yep. And some of the key functions of the Department of Education include Title I funding, which is the Education Department administers Title I funds targeting schools with high percentages of low income students. This program supports approximately 26 million students, aiding nearly half of all U.S. schools in enhancing their educational outcomes.
So they also support students with disabilities through the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. The department ensures that students with disability receives appropriate services, enforcing their rights and providing necessary resources.
And that includes your students who have IEP programs, who have learning disabilities. Those are considered disabilities as well for students.
Yep.
But the Department of Education, one of the key functions is also civil rights enforcement, where the Office of Civil Rights, or the OCR, within the ED addresses discrimination based on race, gender, and disability, and ensures that all students have equal access to educational opportunities.
And those things that Trump is dismantling all across the government, all of the protections that black people have, all the protections that minorities have, he is tearing those protections apart. He is making sure that people that look like me have no way to go to, no one to go to tell about what's going on in our communities. Now that is crazy. And for people to say that he isn't racist, as he's doing everything he can to make sure that nothing is standing that gives us our civil rights that we've been fighting for since the 60s. Another thing that the Department of Education enforces is financial aid. The ED oversees federal aid, financial aid programs, including Pell Grants and federal work study, which are crucial for low-income students pursuing higher education. This is going to have strong implications of when this dismantling of the Department of Education goes into effect. The recent executive order by Donald Trump to dismantle the Department of Education has raised significant concerns about the future of these essential services. Consequences for low-income schools and students include loss of funding. Eliminated Title I funding could result in the loss of approximately 180,000 teacher positions, adversely affecting the academic outcomes of 2.8 million vulnerable students nationwide. weaken civil rights protections. Something it seems like Donald Trump is hell bent on making sure to remove all civil right protections for all people who are minorities in this country. Without the OCR's oversight, millions of students could be vulnerable to discrimination, leading to decreased academic motivation and higher dropout rates. What are we doing? Disruption of support services programs like the Rural and Low Income Schools Program, or RLIS, which provides financial assistance to rural districts that could be jeopardized, further widening the educational gap. The impact on higher education access. The redistribution of responsibilities for federal student loans and Pell Grants to agencies unaccustomed to managing educational programs could lead to inefficiencies, making it more challenging for low-income students to access higher education. This is going to hurt us. The Department of Education's role in leveling the educational playing field cannot be overstated. Its dismantling threatens to exacerbate existing inequalities, particularly for low-income and marginalized students who rely heavily on federal support and protections. As the nation grapples with this potential shift, it's imperative to consider the far-reaching implications for the future if equitable education in America is not reachable for the poor. Impending closures of the Department of Education raises concerns, many concerns. Yes, fuckface, I can read. Oh man. I don't understand. Like put that Tony Brown statement up there. He says schools are cesspools since the 70s. I want you to understand that the states have had full control over their curriculum and over their schools. The Department of Education does not control the schools, man. I know that you guys love to regurgitate that bull, but it's a lie. The states are running their programs. They are putting in the curriculum. If your state, like most of the red states, are at the bottom of education, it's because of your state. You can't blame the federal government. Now, this money that's going to be taken away from all of these schools is going to hurt these schools. And all of you people that are from red states, you're going to get hurt the most because most of your schools are depending on the federal government because you have very horrible, underperforming schools. Now, your schools are going to be looking 10 times worse than they were looking the year before. Mm-hmm. You're going to have less teachers. You're going to have less people to help your maybe you have a special needs kid. Can I get the Sony remote? These special needs kids are not going to get the money that they were getting just last year. Why? I don't understand. This all just to give millionaires and billionaires more money. A tax break, $4 trillion. We're doing all this. Yeah, man, if the schools are a joke right now and we're going to take away more funds, what do you think they're going to be in the future? The schools are going to be 10 times worse, right? They're not going to get better if we take funds and teachers away, right? I just don't understand I don't get it. What are we doing? Schooling is going to be worse. I just don't get why you think taking 10% of a budget from a school that's already struggling with money is going to be able to handle losing all of those funds. We already have teachers with 30, 40 kids in the classroom. Arizona is one of the worst states for schooling in the country. How many schools are we seeing close every day because we don't have funding? And this is with federal funding that these things were happening. Now we're going to lose that funding. These schools are going to go out of commission. And I know that is what Republicans want. They don't want minorities to learn. They want them to be dumb. But if these people aren't learning, they're going to be committing crimes. That's the thing that I don't get, you people don't understand. If we don't educate, these people are going to commit crime and end up in jail. When you don't point people in the right direction, they're going to go the wrong direction, and things are going to get worse. A dumber population is a more criminal population. You want to take away crime, you want crime to get better. The number one way to do that is to educate the populace. That's the way you do it. Yeah, everybody's hollering that the public schools are bad, but why won't we do anything about it? Why every time we pass laws, we are doing everything to take money away from these places? If we want better outcomes, shouldn't we be figuring out ways to have a national curriculum? Shouldn't we be figuring out ways to make sure that everybody is going in the right directions? Most of the top educated states are coming from liberal states. I mean, we can look at the numbers, man. Look it up. You will see that the red states are struggling. They're struggling. Their way of educating is not on. It only helps the top 1%, the rich people who can afford to go to these great schools that they love talking about. But everybody can't afford to go to these Ivy League schools. Everybody's not that intelligent to be able to go to these schools either.
Here's a stark contrast for you. There are 5 states that receive the most federal funding.
Let's name those states.
Per K-12 student. Alaska, $4,369.
It's a liberal state.
Per student. Alaska is known for supporting Republicans in elections.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
North Dakota, $3,393 per student. Montana, $3,268 per student. Kentucky, $3,195 per student. And South Dakota, $3,053 per student.
Now,
meanwhile, states like Utah only receive $1,311 per student.
The thing that's like Mr. Mr. Slick Willie, the money saved from the dismantling of the DOE are going to go back to the states. What are you talking about, bro? How is the money set up to go to the school going to go back to the state? How does that even make any sense? If they're taking the funds away, how is the funds still going to go to the state? What are you talking about? The funds are not going to the state anymore. They're taking the funds away. That's the whole reason they're dismantling it, because they do not want to give the funds to the state. They want to save the money so they can put it towards their tax breaks.
Yep. And
what are you talking about?
Arizona's here's an example for you. Arizona's school system is primarily funded by a combination of state and local sources, with a significant portion coming from local property taxes. You heard that? Most of our school funding comes from local property taxes.
Definitely. That's a law that I wish would change, because that's the reason why poor neighborhoods have poor schools.
Yep.
Why don't they just share all the funds across the whole districts? Why are we putting money just into the rich neighborhoods and letting the poor schools from the poor neighborhoods suffer?
Yep.
It's a poor neighborhood. Definitely they're going to have a poor school if the money is coming from their property taxes. And these people rarely own their properties. So they don't have this money. Their properties aren't worth what these rich people properties are. The money should be shared across all districts across the state.
Yep.
But no, we keep on letting the most money go to the rich people.
And that's another thing. The charter schools' core funding comes entirely from the state's general fund, while districts' core funding comes from both the state general fund and local property taxes. So while public schools are having to pay property taxes and that's where their funding is coming from, charter schools are not subject to the same laws. They are just going straight to the state and said, hey, we need some money. And we need this for our budget.
Right.
Let's get that.
And we see, like just like here, what's the school in Canto, I believe, that's having issues about the shutdown here. They're talking about Isaac School. There we go. That district having issues, and they're telling the school that you have overspent on your budget for years, and they want to fire all the teachers. They want to shut down the school.
But they've been trying to get funding for years.
They're losing funding because you idiots took their money away with these stupid vouchers. That you're letting people take the money and then take it to homeschools. They're taking it to private schools, the charter schools. Yep. How are you going to take money away from the schools, man, and then still expect the school to meet the budgets, the annual budgets, when they're losing the money every day? As these kids get homeschooled, as these kids go to other schools, they're taking their money, and you okayed this, and then you're saying, "Oh, you need to spend better."
You're okay with
what are you talking about?
Individual parents using public school funds to cover their child's educational expenses, including private school tuition, tutoring, and their homeschooled supplies, their coloring books, pencils, pens, all that. You're okay with them taking your money for your child and put it into their homeschool child.
And it doesn't make sense. The people who can afford a private school, why do they need more help?
If you can afford private schooling, it should be coming out of your pocket. You should not be able to get public funding.
What do you need vouchers and funding
for? You don't need this program.
Man, it kills me, man. I don't understand why these people who are always talking about the people who are on the government's teeth, but for some reason they are reaching and going into the funds themselves.
Yep. And just 2 years ago, Arizona expanded their program to become universal. So that means that all K-12 students, regardless of income, can use the school voucher program.
Goodness.
So if you're making $100,000 and $250,000 a year and your kid goes to private school, you can still use this voucher program and get funding from them.
Put that comment up from John Patrick.
It's dumb.
Please. Privatize all education. Let parents choose where they want to go. Teachers who fail to educate kids, fire them. Hey man, I agree with your last sentence. Go ahead, put the camera on me, bro. You definitely want to put in teachers that are compassionate and are making sure that the kids are being educated. But we have a shortage of teachers. People do not want to be teachers, man. We are very rude and we treat them like trash. I see a lot of people, public schools are trash. Everybody do not have the money to pay for private school, man. I know it's easy for people who got money and they have the dollars, but everybody don't have it that way. Some people are really poor. I know it's hard for you people to understand. Some people really don't have the money. They're struggling. They need help. That's why public schools were created. Why are we doing everything to dismantle it? And then we're doing it just to give a tax break to the rich. I don't get it. I don't understand. The kids are supposed to be the future. That's what Whitney Houston said, I believe. The children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Micro schools.
Show them all
we got
the beauty that they
Instagram
have inside.
Comments.
What they saying from Instagram?
Homeschooling is best. It's good for our people to be taught by them. We have to educate them ourselves. It gives us the power to educate ourselves, and this is our chance to do it. It will free up our money from the feds
Mhm.
to use it. Micro schools are a good way that this could be done because they won't be paying the federal government, who doesn't have to be paid no more. That money has to be given back to the states.
I believe that whatever schooling works for you is best for you. If you work 16, 18 hours a day, you can't homeschool. If you have the ability to homeschool and you have the knowledge to be able to teach your kids, you have the correct curriculum, because that's one thing I can't go with homeschooling is it seems they don't have
They do not
a
have
set curriculum.
They do not have a standard curriculum
They
that
can just teach.
homeschoolers have to follow.
They can teach that Barney Rubble is the president, and no one's checking this stuff. Those are the things that I worry about when we talk about homeschooling. Now, you can teach a kid whatever you want, but they should be able to pass these standardized tests. There should be testing still that the kid has to do, and if they're not taking these tests and they're not going into other places and taking tests and making sure that they are keeping up with people in their same grade, that their really reading ability is not up to par, these things still should be checked. Just because you're going to homeschooling, that should not mean that those responsibilities fall. So I believe in homeschool if you have the right structure and the ability to make sure that the kid is going to get the right education. It's fine. But if you're going to be teaching that Voltron is Jesus and he's the president, then that's going to be tough for me.
Right.
So we got to watch it with these things. And we already seen the scam where the people who were homeschooling were lying about their numbers, taking the money from the government. They weren't even from this state of Arizona. They were from Utah or something, stealing money from the government. We always were mad about administration budgets when it came to the school, but we didn't have to worry about people stealing the money. But that's what's going on because we put these stupid laws in place. But all right, what's your next story?
Yeah, I mean, in going with the dismantling of the Department of Education,
Go ahead, go to her, bro.
Things like your student loans, how you will repay those. Trump announced on Friday that the Small Business Administration will now be taking over managing federal student loan portfolios, which exceed $1.6 trillion and affects over 40 million Americans. He also stated that the transition would happen immediately, though consumer advocates worry that this is going to cause administrative errors and privacy risks.
Yeah.
Experts have also questioned whether the SBA has the expertise to handle student loans, suggesting that the Treasury Department would have been a more logical choice. Despite the agency shift, borrower rights in loan terms remain unchanged, while opponents warn that the move could harm vulnerable children. Legal and political challenges are expected, and even some Republicans are questioning whether the department can be closed without congressional approval.
Well, we already know it can't. We already know that it can't. Go ahead and put that comment from Genetic Assassin. So you're mad because they're not indoctrinated. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, switch the camera. This is an issue that Republicans have been on for years. They're talking about the indoctrination of kids because the kids are learning about their past and learning about slavery and racism, and a lot of Republicans don't like that. They don't think the kids should learn about the past. They call that indoctrination because these kids are learning, just like we all learned about slavery and all different things that happened in the past. Why nowadays these people are trying to put the veil over our heads and they don't want anybody to learn about these things, fearing indoctrination. If education equals indoctrination, that means that whoever is learning has not fully grasped his education. And maybe you should talk to that person a little bit more. Because indoctrination is just so silly that we throw this word out there just because somebody understands what's going on and they have woken up, as they call them woke.
Right.
You know, they've woken up to what was going on. They're not asleep on the things that's going on in the world. They don't like that. They want us to all be walking around blinded, acting like there's no racism, there's no hate. It never happened. They feel bad. You know, they look at it and they feel bad because of the things that they did from the 1890s to the 1950s and 60s, where they were lynching people and killing people every day, dropping bombs in Oklahoma City, blowing up anything that black people had into anything that we did to grow our people. Everything was segregated back then. They still didn't like to see black folks with anything. They had to blow it up. Now they don't even want to read about the stuff that they did in the 20s and 30s. They don't want to read about the atrocities that they did to the kids, splitting up babies, splitting up families. They don't want to read about it anymore. They don't want to see it. They want to act like it doesn't exist. That's why they're removing all this stuff about civil rights. That's why they're doing all this, for they can act like they're so lily white and they never did anything wrong. This is the new America we live in, where these people want to act like racism doesn't exist. Like my man Eddie said, we know the truth. Indoctrination is what they call it, but it's called education to us. It's called knowing your history to us. But they don't want us to learn. For we can walk around acting like, oh, they've always liked us.
Right.
Even though they put us in bondage for 300, 400 years. Jim Crow laws for another 20, 30, 40 years. Segregation for another 40 years. They've done nothing but hate. And then get mad and want to yell reverse racism when somebody points out the crap. We're sick of it, man. And now you got your leader in charge. You know, and everybody every day is losing civil rights. If it wasn't about racism, why is that what he's attacking every day?
Right. Why is all he attacking is cultural?
That's it, man. That's it. Just your last story. You want to go into the Hollywood mess?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that, you know, even what the constituents in Washington State have been outraged. They're showing their outrage. And, you know, we do have a video here of Representative Michael Baumgartner facing hostility from the crowd at a GOP town hall. So let's go ahead and see.
Barbara, and can serve as our concluding question for the night regarding checks and balances between the different branches of government.
For 39 years from New Jersey. I've never been involved in politics before, but this is getting really scary. Okay, so the things that frighten me is the way this insane president talks about Canada as a 51st state. Taking Panama by force and buying Greenland. How does this person qualify as sane? Why is he not being impeached right now?
So, in short, I don't support us absorbing Canada. Canada, that would be like taking. Canada's been a good neighbor. Canada is much more liberal and left wing than the United States. If we took Canada, taking Canada would be like taking another California. It would tilt things towards the Democrats. Yeah. If we took Canada, the Republicans would never have control again, so we don't want that to happen. On the other two, if we could get Greenland peacefully, I'm all for it, and we should have never given up Panama.
Yeah, man, insane.
Very insane.
I mean, they're okay with this stuff, man.
They're okay with it. They don't want Canada as a 51st state.
But we were talking about that. If you put Canada in here, this America is so liberal. I mean, I don't know what Donald Trump's talking about, but hey, if they add them, cool, because we're not gonna have any more Republican presidents. That's a celebration for me.
Yep.
Because we want single payer health care too.
Yeah.
We don't want people dying because they can't afford to pay their medical bills.
Yeah.
We don't want people getting kicked out of their homes because they can't afford medical bills. People haven't decided, am I going to eat today, or I got to pay for my my diabetes medicine?
Right.
Like, this is the stuff that's going on in America, man. And there's so many people that's okay with this.
Am I going to pay my rent this month?
Or my medical bill?
Or am I going to buy my insulin for the month?
Right. We got to stop it, man. This is crazy. And you know, people wondering, like, what are we doing? We're trying to take Panama.
Right.
Take Greenway. You think these things aren't going to cost money? If we try to purchase them or whatever, these things are going to more in debt, more money. If we put troops out there, more money.
Yep.
I mean, this is getting ridiculous, man.
It is. Let's go ahead and run the hot mess.
Oh, the video. It's the video now. There you go.
The last
Down.
one.
There you go.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Aisha Rowan.
No one, but if you do want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@habarientertainment.com, and we will complete and create a package just for you. Hit us up, info@habarientertainment.com.
Yes, sir. And just before we roll into the hot mess real fast, I do want to thank all of our viewers from TikTok, all of our viewers from YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Everyone
tuning in today.
Even the Trump supporters. We appreciate y'all.
Exactly. If you have a story that you'd like for us to cover, drop it in our inbox, email it to us, info@habarientertainment.com. All right. So this week, there was a lot going on in Hollywood, but the biggest story that came out this week was Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Big U, a former manager of Nipsey Hussle, who is also a high-ranking member in the Rolling 60s Crips. He has been charged in a federal RICO case involving murder.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this genetic assassin dude. He's ridiculous.
Somebody did report us on TikTok today. We got a community violation
for what?
That. I don't know, but you know, it's people out there like genetic assassins that think it's misinformation.
Whatever. All right, go ahead.
But you know,
put it back on her.
Big U has been arrested and he's facing a federal RICO case involving murder, extortion, and human trafficking. And prosecutors have alleged that he murdered a Las Vegas rapper in 2021 over a diss track and then covered up the crime. He's also being accused of misusing millions of government grants and donations, including funds from the Shaquille O'Neal and Draymond Green foundations in order to support his criminal enterprise. Authorities are describing Big U's organization as a mafia-like organization operation. And here's the thing. Big U did previously spend 13 years in prison. So if he is convicted of this RICO case, he is facing life, a life sentence. But you know, currently they're saying that as of right now, he did turn himself in yesterday.
Yeah, he did.
He did. So, but when the story first came out, they had him labeled as a fugitive, but he has since turned himself in.
Oh man. I hope it's not true, man. I hope Big U, he was saying a lot of good things. He was supposedly doing a lot of good things in the neighborhood. It's horrible to hear that these guys are still on this criminal adventure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people were saying that they were going on on the podcast and going on all these
On Adam
shows,
22,
Adam 22, and they're all talking about all this
Jumpman podcast or something.
how many murders they have,
Mm-hmm.
and talking about, man, we have to stop this mess, dude. When are we gonna grow up? Rap music, if you cannot do something constructive for the neighborhood, it's time for you to leave. I am so sick of hearing all about these people that are in the entertainment department of rap, and it's nothing but murder and killing. We have to grow up, man. Dude is 58 years old. They still want to be a part of the streets. They still want to make people check in, do all this stupid stuff because of these criminal gangs. How long are we going to let gang members run our people?
Yep.
What have they done constructive for the communities? Except tear it down. They killed Nipsey Hussle. Like, dude, we have to stop this mess, man. If you're not doing anything constructive, just get out of the way, man.
Yep.
I'm so sick of this shit. And all these people just loving it. They all eat this crap up. Then they wonder why people calling them thugs and criminals and stuff when we always making these people famous. Why do the people that we make famous, man, keep on killing each other? Like, shouldn't we rethink what we're doing? I mean, dog, we can't just keep going down the same path. I really thought Big U was doing something different, man. I was following the dude on Instagram because I thought he was really doing something, man. I saw he had this thing on TV too, and they were talking about him, and this dude doing nothing. He's doing this. I hope these accusations aren't true, but if they are, man, this is crazy. Yeah, you're right. Alleged. We don't. These crimes are alleged until they are proven.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know for sure. But man, I'm just so sick of it, man. All the RICO cases that's coming out. Like, how many times do we have to see this stuff? We did see what Young Thug he did. He didn't get all the years that we thought he was going to get. But still, the man had to fight for his life for 2 years. We have to stop this, man. We have to stop the worship of the craziness. We have to stop putting these criminals on a pedestal. We have to, man. This is something that has to stop in the Black community. We cannot blame anyone else but ourselves. And it's not going to change until we look into the mirror and do something better. I'm just sick of it, man.
Alexander Thompson says, "Stop the gangs and close the borders."
Hey man, like I said, man, I have to give it to Trump. You know, the border is down, but I also have to say that it's hate that's keeping it down, and I don't like that. But I do want to get rid of gangs. I think that gangs don't do anything for the community, man. They don't do anything to help anyone, and we have to get rid of these people, man. Shooting up the neighborhood, people getting shot all up, guns everywhere. Like, what happened to the people the Black Panthers, man? They used to love the community. Ever since the Black Panthers were torn apart by the government and the CIA, we have done nothing but played our part for the demise of the Black community. We fell into every hole. We fell for every trap. The drugs in the 80s. The drugs now, we're falling for it. We got to be able to control ourselves, man. We can't just keep on saying that it's their fault that they made us fall into this trap. We got to start taking responsibility. I know it sucks. I know it's crazy. I know it's not right. I know a lot of people going to dislike what I'm saying because of all the systemic issues in America. I'm not saying that those things don't exist, but you still have to take responsibility for the decisions that you're making. Mm-hmm. You're packing guns, going around shooting up people. What is that doing to help us? All the RICO charges for all these people who have been getting out of the neighborhood, supposed to be doing something to make something better. and they can't live the gang life alone. We got artists like Chris Brown. They go to California. They talking about their bloods. And they're all talking about how real they are. Like, you should be embarrassed that you are talking about you are blood. You're not 15 anymore. You're in your 30s, almost 40 years old, talking about you are blood. Like, man, I respect people who want to make sure that their neighborhood is safe. But if you have to use gang intimidation to do that, that is not the right way, man. We got to do better, bro. I have to agree with conservatives on this shit. I'm conservative about a lot of things. I'm not. People always say, "Oh, you just liberal." Nah, man. Some people make excuses for this stuff. I don't believe in the excuses on this shit anymore. People make excuses for rap music. I don't believe in that anymore. I'm done. We can make different decisions, dog. We don't have to do the things that these people are making us do. So
it's ridiculous.
It definitely is. It definitely is. But let's what we got? Just comic books.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's
And
run that.
sports.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by.
Become a sponsor like always. Email us at info@habaryentertainment.com and we will hit you up and create a package just for you. So, oh man, what we're gonna talk about is Daredevil, Born Again. The last episode was terrific to me. I see a lot of people who've been complaining that it's not enough Daredevil in there, but I like a different turn, man. This is the 4th season. We've had Daredevil for 3 seasons,
Right?
So I'm kind of confused on why people are complaining about that. But this new era of TV, a lot of people, that's all they do. So Born Again, a Disney Plus feature, which features the most anticipated return of Frank Castle, also known as Punisher. Episode 4 has generated significant buzz, especially with John Bernthal reprising his role as the Punisher. Critics has praised his performance, noting the dynamic between Castle and Matt Murdock. IGN highlighted this dynamic, stating easily the best part of this episode is Bernthal's return as the Punisher. His dynamic with Murdock, or Red, as he's called in his beyond fantastic role. The episode delves deeper into the personal struggles of both characters. Vulture observes the Matt Murdock's return to vigilantism, reflects his delusionment with criminal justice system, especially after recent events. Additionally, Decider praised the episode for its balance of humor, drama, and social commentary, likening it to the shows like The Sopranos. They also condemned Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal of Meryl Fisk, highlighting his physicality and comic awkwardness. A lot of people have been talking about he's been weak this year, this season, that it's not strong kingpin. But they did show that he is, same guy, but he's trying to keep it on the low because he's the mayor. But people are not really liking it. It's worth noting that John Bernthal's initial declined to return to the Punisher due to his concerns about the storyline. However, after Marvel revamped the creative direction, he was convinced to reprise the role, aiming to explore more psychologically complex character portrayals. Overall, episode 4 was well received, with RAM Online giving it a grade of a B+, noting its progressive tension and quality acting. For a more in-depth analysis, let's examine some of the breakdowns of episode 4, which highlights the Punisher's return. We don't have that video, my bad. But it was just really, really dope, man. What Punisher is doing. I like Bernthal. I think he's a great actor for the role and his portrayal. They say that a 45-minute episode is coming of Punisher. I cannot wait till that comes out. That should be really, really good. So, man, check it out. It's on Disney Plus. Daredevil Born Again. And episode 5 should be coming out. What is it, on Tuesdays or Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesdays.
Wednesdays, or is it Tuesday? Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. So check it out, man. And I think you guys really would like it, man. And audiences are engaged with this complex character and the storytelling. So we look forward to seeing how the series unfolds in the upcoming episodes, and we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on, man, like always. So that was all for Comic Book Corner. We're gonna go into some sports real fast. This dude.
Habari Sports.
Welcome to Habari Sports, your ultimate destination for everything happening in the world of sports. From the latest headlines and breaking news to in-depth analysis and exclusive interviews, we've got you covered. So let's join us as we dive into the hottest story, dissect the biggest plays, and keep you updated with the athletes and teams making waves across the globe, whether it's the NBA, NFL, soccer, or combat sports. Habari Sports is your go-to source of authentic and unfiltered commentary. So yeah, man, I want to talk about the Suns. You know, we were able to squeak out a win last night in Cleveland. The Cavaliers have been struggling. They have lost 4 in a row, but we were able to pull it out, man. And like I said, if I was a betting man, I would have bet against the Suns. We just have not been consistent. But I think now that's 2 wins in a row for us. So we are trying to, is it 2? I think it might be. I think we beat the Bulls last, then we beat the Cavs. So it's pretty good. The Suns, they're trying to close in on a playoff spot. It's looking like we've grabbed the 10 spot right now. Suns versus Cavaliers, the final score was 123-112. Last night, the Suns secured a crucial victory against the Eastern Conference leading Cavaliers, winning, like I said, 123-112. The win improves their record to 34-37, keeping their play-in tournament's hopes alive. So we do have a chance. We have the toughest schedule left for the rest of the season, but I think we do have a little bit of chance. We have been so inconsistent lately. It's hard to really say what we're going to do. But Kevin Durant led the charge last night with 35 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, showcasing his offensive prowess. Devin Booker added 28 points and 7 assists, and he helped to get the win, man, in a game that was really, really needed. And it's just good to get a win against a good team for once. The Western Conference is tough. One loss, man, can drop you out of the tourney. But despite the victory, the Suns remain 1.5 games behind the Dallas Mavericks, who are very hurt and decimated. They just haven't been able to get their footing, and it looks like Dallas is going to keep losing. So we should be able to overtake Dallas for that final play-in spot in the Western Conference. With only a few games left in the regular season, each matchup is very critical, and we're going to have to figure out just how to win a couple of these games, man. Looking ahead, the Suns face the Milwaukee Bucks in their next game on March 24th. This will be another significant test as they go up against one of the East top teams. With Giannis, they've been playing decent ball. I think they're in the 4th spot over there in the East. Suns versus Bucks head-to-head comparison. In their previous meeting this season, the Suns fell to the Bucks. However, with momentum from last night's win and the stakes higher than ever, expect a fierce on-the-court battle. Hopefully, we can pull it out, man. Playoff odds for the Suns and their chances, it's not really looking good. But according to recent projections, the Suns still have a 13.33% chance of making the playoffs, while the odds are slim. The team's resilience and determination could defy expectations. We don't know for sure. We're hoping that the Suns can come and do a little bit better, man. For the Suns to secure a play-in spot, consistent performances from their star players are essential. Additionally, the bench must step up to provide valuable minutes and maintain intensity throughout the games. Our defense cannot be the mess that we saw versus the Lakers on TV the other day. That was just a debacle. Stephen A. Smith had to apologize because the Suns didn't even come to play. Now, I don't know if that's the coach or the players, but you have to blame both in these situations because it seems like we're not ready to play. Now, hopefully, like I said, we can get better. We can do better, but it just seems like the Suns are just packing it up for next year. I don't have much. We don't seem to have any heart. I have to agree with you, Jeremiah Taylor. The Suns, they seem to be a bunch of cowards, immature cowards. I agree. And I don't know if we're just going to complain for the rest of the year, or are we going to fight? But it doesn't seem like we have any fight in us. I've heard rumors that they want to get another coach out of here. Now, it has to come a point where it's not the coach anymore. It's you. It's you, Kevin Durant. It's you, Booker. It's definitely you, Bill. Something's going on. They had the bench, Bill. Like, what is going on? What is the motivation? You guys need you don't have the motivation to want to play. You don't care that you're embarrassed. You know, Kevin Durant is always talking about how he doesn't like the criticism. He doesn't like the reporters. But when you have the highest payroll in the NBA, the entire NBA, and you're barely making the playoffs, people are going to criticize. That's the way it is. It's got to be you. I agree. It's not the coach. Jeremiah's 100% right. The Suns play like a soulless squad. You are right. They look like they just given up. They have no soul, no want. I have to agree. I don't understand what we're doing. We just, man, like you say, man, on paper, we should be the number 1, number 2 seed in the West right now. But in real life, we are the 10th seed. Can't play defense, don't want to play defense. We're soft, and we do nothing but complain and get killed in the paint. So we're going to have to figure something out, man, because the route we're going right now is not it. And if we do make it to the play-in, we're just going to get bounced right out. Unless these players figure out or find their hearts, because right now it doesn't seem that they have one.
I don't know if you saw it, but Jimmy said OKC, UFC, KFC, Lakers in 5.
Oh my goodness, this dude here watched way too much Shannon Sharp. Goodness. I mean, that's all they do is whatever Shannon Sharp says, that's what they saying. They kill me, bro. Get out of here, Shannon, Jimmy Shannon, or whatever you want to call yourself. Let me hit you with the womp womp. But anyway, man, I want to thank everybody that watched today. And I also want to ask everyone, if you like what you saw today, if you want to have updated news from a different perspective, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. Please follow. Please become someone that's down with the Habari team. We really appreciate it. Even if you don't agree with everything we say, we love the conversation. We love to talk. That's what this is all about, man. We have to reach the people, and to make this world a better place, we all have to talk about the things that we and the views that we have, even if we don't agree. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate you. This has been Habari and the Habari Live podcast from Habari Entertainment. For Aisha and Aiden, we out of here.
Holla, holla.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.
else you do?
Well, yes.